Okay, so today we were talking about food,
Yep.
and I think there's a lot of psychology that goes around our food choices, and likes and dislikes.
No, pizza's always the right answer.
So there's no psychology
Yeah,
there.
No, I mean, there definitely is. I mean, and it's a lot of it goes around the different things that you grew up with, different things that, if they have good memories, bad memories. As we've talked about before, your food choices can change based on age, time, the amount of times you've tried them, different ways you've tried different things. You may like things with certain recipes, but not others.
Yep. I think that's a really good point when you said about the foods that we were brought up with. I had a client one time that she had a hard time overeating cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And once we got into it, what it was that was her and her mom had good times eating cereal together, and her mom was gone. So what happened was every time she was lonely or wanted that comfort of her mom, she would overeat cereal. Nothing to do with hunger. It was completely a psychological eating, and really hard time breaking it.
Becomes your security blanket.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of foods that are that way, and we have those associations from when we're young.
Well, that, and then, you have the whole cliches with ice cream and stuff like that when you're having a bad day and everything. So that becomes a cliche that everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people lean on, and
yes,
and you develop those tendencies.
Yep. And I think that it is part psychological, but it is also dopamine related as well, because it's that trifecta.
Of course.
So it is typically the ones that we go to would be the ones that have the trifecta, like ice cream, the sugar, salt, and fat. But it's not always, because it can be something that we associated with a person.
Yeah, that is true. And that's kind of what it comes down to, is there's so many different factors that things could be. It could be one, it could be a multitude. When it's a multitude, it's harder to break.
Oh yeah.
It could be a good memory, it could be a bad thing. I mean, so you may stay away from foods.
Yeah. I know when it is a challenge to break, but we do have tactics that work fairly well. I know one of the things that I've done to help people is stop and with our list. Right. So we're identifying that, yep, this is actually a psychological hunger, and pick something else that's comforting that's not food. So I don't know if you have anything else to add, or maybe suggestions that.
Identifying, like you've said with the list, is the best thing that I've seen. There's, unfortunately, until you know what you're dealing with, you may not realize you're doing it. It may be a comfort food. It may be, something that you don't even notice you're grabbing, a handful here, a handful there, and until it's identified, it's going to keep happening, and you're not going to be able to stop it.
It's kind of like an automatic mode. You just do the motion and you don't even realize it. We do that a lot of times with putting the candy dish out on the counter, and we will grab them and not even realize that we're grabbing and taking on that extra sugar, or candy. So remove the candy dish. Or it works well with kids as well, is if you want to get them eating vegetables, just cut up vegetables and put some fruit on it, make it nice and colorful, and put it on the counter, and then watch them grab it, and they'll even grab and eat the stuff that they say they don't like.
No kidding.
Yes. So it is an automatic, so we can play with that a little bit, right?
You see it, you eat it.
At work, we did that in the break room as well. A lot of times they would bring the candy or the donuts, they would say the bad day food. And instead I would have a test and take those foods out and put in fruits and vegetables, maybe an apple, and people grab those just as much. So it is what we have available. It is around our environment.
Makes sense. The ease of access.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, makes sense.
We'll grab what's there.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, if it's easier to get, I mean, that's why fast food works so well.
Yes.
Because it's easy and it's fast. Not so much anymore. It keeps slowing down like everything else, but it's faster than you having to cook the meal yourself.
I don't know if the food is, they're not producing it any slower as much as it is. We're just waiting in line a lot longer. More people are doing it.
that's true. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten.
But it goes back to that point of controlling our environment. I know that one of the things that I met in clinic a lot of times is there's some gas stations or convenience stores that are really, really good at those last minute choices and that psychological eating that goes along with it. They will put the temptation foods right next to the counter and make sure that they have something that's warm and aromatic for you to smell. Like we know the popcorn.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So somebody makes popcorn, everybody wants popcorn. These gas stations do the same thing.
Oh yeah, and it's psychology. There's a whole entire division of psychology designed to that. And it's interesting to look into because you realize all the traps you fall into when it comes to stuff like that.
And we don't even think about it. We just do literally fall into it.
Oh, yeah. And that's why electronics are in the very back of the store because it forces you to go all the way to the back. And then you have a higher likelihood of buying things when you leave. So
several extra.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the gas stations, a lot of them, I've noticed more recently, are picking up kind of better products. A lot more higher protein, lower calorie, gluten-free things and everything like that. That's something I've noticed more recently as I've been to gas stations. Seen a lot of that too, which a lot of the gas stations around me, that's not something that I've had before.
Yep. I like that they grab already peeled hard-boiled eggs. A nice protein, easy to eat on the go. Excuse me, especially if I don't want a candy bar or a bag of chips, right? I have a better option with a little bit of protein in it. Or as opposed to just dairy. Dairy seems like the easy one, but so many people are either lactose intolerant or allergic to dairy. So they need the options.
Something else.
The variety. So it is what is in our environment. So if we can control our environment a little bit better, we can shift our habits around food a lot easier than relying on willpower. Because I always say willpower fails us.
Oh, yeah.
We are terrible with willpower.
Well, and no one can stay motivated all the time. I mean, whatever journey in life you're on, you're going to be motivated, and there's going to be days that you're not.
Yes.
It's going to happen. You're not going to be able to stay motivated all the way to your goal. It's impossible. So,
no. Kyle, are you motivated today?
Absolutely not. I'm exhausted.
He is. I said that because he didn't get a lot of sleep. So,
no, but they're still putting me to work.
Right. So there are going to be those days that you don't have that motivation, and that is where our it's like the red flag, the alert.
Yep.
I don't have as much self-control today.
100%.
Yeah. Which is okay because we don't need to be on 100% of the time either.
You can set yourself up for success because that's like my house with the food choices and everything I have, even on days that I don't feel like, okay, today I don't want to do something healthy, or I don't want to cook or whatever. I have healthier options at my house. That's all I keep. I keep better things at my house because even if I want to snack, okay, yeah, I shouldn't snack. It's a little over what I was supposed to today, but it's still better option than what it would have been normally, what I could have had, kind of thing.
And one of those times that it is harder to control is when you don't get a lot of sleep.
Yep. 100%.
Your hunger goes up, your defenses go down. So it's not just about willpower. There is a shift in our hunger. And I think our food is energy, and our body, when we didn't get a lot of sleep, needs energy. And so we will associate that with hunger, that I want to eat more. And it is, if you don't have those foods available, because that is exactly what we'll go for, those foods that, and we will overeat them.
Oh, yeah. The worse they are for you, the better they are.
On days when you get no sleep.
Oh, 100%. Days you're tired or anything like that.
But I think it's important that you made a really good point about controlling our environment. And we are kind of subject to our environment. We go on autopilot a lot of times, and when we are doing that autopilot and so busy, that's when things fall apart. So set it up so we make the better choices throughout the day. And we won't even think anything of it.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, autopilot. Yeah, you just don't think about it. I mean, it's just like when you're grocery shopping. If you don't have a list, you end up picking up more things because you're just kind of, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. And you just kind of throw things in, the $10 grocery shopping, excursion turns into $50-$60 and you're like, oh, I only got a couple more things.
Those end caps at the end of the aisles, they're designed for that.
That's why I just circle the outside of the store and everything in the middle I stay away from.
But that is something that we suggest. So it's a really good point. And do you know why?
From what I've been told is it's more of the natural or more actual produce and stuff like that. Things more that expire. Yeah, whole foods. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Yep. Instead of all the processed, the way like cereal and stuff like that.
Yep. So the more packaged foods that you would need to read the label. I'm not a big fan of reading labels because we can make healthier choices without worrying about the label the majority of the time. Yep. And that's the tactic, staying on the outside of the store the majority of the time. So easier to make cold choices. It's an easy step without having to think about it. Yep. Because I've seen those people in the grocery store trying to read those labels and having a challenging time seeing it, and they don't understand what it is. And the way that we bring that barrier down, stay on the outside.
Stay on the outside.
The majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be things like certain recipes that I made recently. Of course, I had to go through the other aisles, but I knew roughly what I was looking for.
Peanut butter.
And then, then I go, okay, which one of these three am I going to choose between or something like that instead of, walking up and down the aisles endlessly.
That becomes overwhelming where this is too difficult for me to figure out. So then that's when people want to just throw it, just throw the towel away. I'm done. I'm not doing this. It's too challenging.
Well, and that's the crazy part is if you actually pay attention when you go into the store, the amount of options you have for each individual thing is insane.
Yes.
I mean, water alone. There's whole aisles dedicated to just water. And it's
purified water, spring water, electrolytes added to the water. Which one's a better water? Just drink water.
It's insane. So I mean, it's understandable that people get completely overwhelmed, and then when they're trying to be healthy, well, I'm looking for this exact brand, and this store doesn't carry it, so I gotta get something else. Well, is this the same? And you just get so overworked. It's okay. We're going to fast food. I'm just going through the drive-through and getting something really quickly, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's a throw the towel in. It's that's why I think that it's. I focus a majority of my time on easy and fits into people's lives. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be 100%. But if we can make it easy and actionable, that's where we really start to see that change, and they're not needing to rely on the willpower. So the simple step of staying around the end of the grocery store more often and choosing those foods most often, not 100%.
Yeah, of course. And they sneak things out there now.
And if you have a gas station like we talked about that has the temptations, some people need to choose a different gas station for a bit of time until that they can get over those temptations.
Kind of get in the habit of not getting those things. So, or things like what I like to do is meal prep. So I'll take a day and I'll spend the whole entire day just cooking a bunch of meals, and then I'll have the meals already ready. So it's not me having to go, okay, what do I want to eat? It's just, which one of these 3 meals I picked up? I just grab one randomly, and I'm having this today or that today.
So that's a great conversation, talking about meal prepping, because I think there's a lot of different approaches to it. And there's a lot of ways to implement it that could be different. Like I do one day and may freeze stuff. Other people may not. So what did you find so far that's been very helpful?
For me, I like to have meals that I can freeze. It's way more convenient. I can make a lot. The last time I had 7 days worth of lunch and dinner that I had made up, and it was great. I would make breakfast, either shake or whatever I wanted for breakfast, and then I would have the meals already ready, because if I was running around or over here doing some of this or whatever, and I just didn't have time to cook or anything, I had those meals. But if there was something I really wanted outside of that, I could cook that too, and those frozen meals were still there, and they would still stay good for longer. So I still have one in the fridge I'm going to have later on tonight. And it's delicious. So, I mean, you have the options.
Yes, definitely.
I can move around with it because of that.